Look at that. Hey guys, AJ here back on the line for you. So guys, we all know the one place you do not want to end up in America is divorce court or child support court, right? Guys, you will get cooked. You will get cooked, right? Guys, this whole thing is a scam to redistribute wealth from the rest of us men to a small group of men via the women and the government, right? Guys, here we have a case of a chick who's pissed because she feels like she's not getting enough child support, so she wants the husband's house. Guys, she wants her ex's house. Absolutely insane. Trying to get your ex-husband's house.
You're a bum!
Look at that, guys. Because I honestly believe that if the mom can't afford to take care of the kids should be with the dad anyways. So guys, we'll get into this, but before we do, like, subscribe, drop a comment. Guys, I have a second channel called 50 and 304s. That is linked in the description. So guys, go and check that out. Guys, join my Discord. Check out the playlist at the end. And guys, I'm offering memberships now, so please hit the join button or the link in the description. Thanks so much to all you guys that are already members. It really helps support the channel. And guys, this is from Love and Divorce, so I'll post a link to this video and this channel in the description, and also pinned at the top of the comments just in case you want to watch without me interrupting it. And let's get into this.
Let me see if I can break this down for everybody. Miss Reynolds, you're saying there's a change of circumstance.
I'm
sorry, Miss Lemon.
Sure.
Miss Lemon. Forgive me. I'm looking down at one of the pleadings and it says Reynolds versus Reynolds. So that's why I'm looking down, looking at my notes and reading. And forgive me, but the court filings and the dockets will always say Reynolds. They don't change it to Lemon. It's what it was incepted as. So what we've got here is the basis for your change of circumstance is essentially that he changed jobs and that he overnights went from 182 and a half to 185 versus 180. That's your pleading.
No, that is not. To clarify that, if you look at my pleading, it says that my job has changed, his job has changed, and that the original agreement was made under false information.
Well, the original agreement has been ratified by the court, so I'm stuck with it.
Look at that.
Okay. What is the change in your job?
Guys, look at this chick's face. And look at his. You can tell he's so glad to be away from this problem. Look at how she talks to the judge. That's Miss Lemon, okay? Get it right. Jesus. And guys, this judge, he's a simp, right? I think I've only seen him rule towards the father once, but this judge is a simp.
Job.
I was a full-time student.
Of course you were.
Okay.
And doing real estate. And as we know, real estate has tanked completely. So have been trying to find a job now that I have graduated, but because of the, corrupt nature of the court, there's a felony on my record, and that should not be there. And so I am struggling to gain employment.
All right. Well, my problem is this. I need a major change of circumstance to review child support. That's been the problem. That's been the problem all along. So you're saying you don't have an income now?
Correct.
Of course not.
And
of course she doesn't have an income, right, guys? Of course not.
You're a bum!
And she's trying to say the court's biased. Guys, how much you want to bet it was a DV charge because she was trying to beat up on her husband, right?
He moved to Tennessee. I think that's pretty major, too. He bought a house in Tennessee.
That's not what his pleading says.
Excuse me?
Where does Mr. Reynolds live? He lives in, according to his response, he lives here in Grand Rapids.
When I requested this entire child support review, he bought a house in Tennessee, and he still owns that house in Tennessee.
He can own a house in Tennessee, but if he's living here in Grand Rapids, that's not a change.
Well,
my only question here is, I need to know what his income changed because the job changed. So what information I need is this. I need information from his current contract. And if it is the same income, we do not have a change of circumstance, and we're stuck with the 36 months by law. That's my explanation, Ms. Lemon. That's why I tried to explain this. I'm like, I don't have the requisite change of circumstance to review child support at this time. You signed a contract in June of 2022. Essentially,
based on the information that David Reynolds was going to be, I was forced to sign that, claiming that was the only way I could see my kids.
Whoa. Do you see, guys? So she's mad because she signed the original document at that original amount with that original income, right? And she's locked in for 36 months. And now she's trying to say, I was forced to sign it, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Unfortunately, but there was a lot to that agreement. They waived arrears.
Including the fact that I would be able to see my kids, because otherwise I would not be able.
And you are seeing your children, correct? You are seeing your child. Yeah. Okay. Then
only because I agreed to sign that.
You got the benefit of the bargain, and that's my problem. I don't have the requisite legal change of circumstance to review this unless his income increased. If his income increased, I will review this. So what I need is I'm going to reserve on that because I want that information. Once I get it, I'll issue an opinion as to whether there's a change of circumstance or not. Mr.
And he does not have the kid. He does not have her 50-50. And nowhere in my pleadings did I say it's about a 2-day difference. Okay. That was a benefit that I was giving him to try to resolve things outside of court.
Guys, look. I know, guys, that this chick on the bottom left has a look of the beast in her eyes, right? Guys, look at the guy in the upper right. Because look at the ex-husband. Like, start this video again at some point and just watch the ex-husband's face. She's probably the reason why he has gray hair.
Well, again, her pleading says 2 overnights. That's
I don't know. That's what her pleading
said. It does not. Where does the pleading say that he only has 2 additional overnights? Please tell me where the pleadings say he only has 2 overnights.
I will look it up right now.
That's what I'm looking up too, because I know that I read it in your pleading.
My request was for the child support to be based on 2 different overnights, but that was because of a conversation I had with Dave, which he claimed he would be willing to do if I would swap.
Minor daughter Callie spends a minimum of 184 overnights with the plaintiff. That's what it says.
A minimum.
That's what your number 3 is. That's where I got the numbers from.
There you go.
A minimum. That is not saying there's only a 2-day difference.
And I think you have a typo. Yeah, I think you have a typo. You probably meant defendant, but oh no,
I
you are
didn't.
the plaintiff.
No, I didn't. I meant the plaintiff. I am the plaintiff.
You said 184
either one, your allegation number 3 indicates you guys have almost the same parenting time that was ordered in the previous order.
Cooked.
No,
that's your own. That's your own.
Say that we
number
have the
3, minor
time.
daughter Kaliana Reynolds spends a minimum of 184 overnights with the plaintiff.
But yeah, that does not say that's a equal split by any stretch of the imagination. Nowhere there does it say that Dave then has 180.
Yes, to the judge's face. Guys, how much of an evil, knuckleheaded broad do you have to be to make the judge who's biased in your favor give you this look? You guys, all this because she's a broke 304 who has a felony on her record, who got some useless college degree, who's trying to increase her child support.
I ain't gonna lie. The only thing I'm finna increase is my motherfucking fist across your goddamn face. That's what the fuck, that's what's about to get increased.
It does, Miss Lemon.
No,
yes,
it does not.
So I will reserve, get me that contract. Let me see what the pay is. I will note the pay in the order. I'm going to let her know what that contract says. And if it says the $500,000 that you're alleging, there's no change of circumstance. Matter of fact, his pay went down $6,000. So,
thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right. Have a good morning, everyone.
Have a great day.
Just to make sure,
after I see that.
The additional proofs that were requested, because I know last time that we sat before you, you would not allow me to show the video. That was very clear evidence, even though Jude himself had the exculpatory evidence.
Have you been in front of me before? I don't remember you guys.
Okay. Absolutely, we've been in front of you before.
All right, you mostly
and
been
you would not
look at this look in her face. Look at this. Guys, Dave Reynolds, why would you stick your dick in that, dude? Why? Look at the look on this chick's face.
All right, you mostly
and you would not allow me to present anything, just like now.
Just like now.
Okay, well, you've presented what you presented. That's what you've presented it by your motion.
No, my motion very clearly says that I have a change of job. It very clearly says I have a change, both in my student status and in my job, that the father has a change, that it's not remained 50-50.
All right. Again, have a good morning. I'm going to reserve, and I will issue it when I look at his income. Have a good morning.
Thank you very much,
everybody.
What a mess. pocket watching him. Well, you know, I'm a broke knucklehead at 304, but he bought a house, so he owes me money. You're a bum. Look at that, guys. Right? Guys, never let these 304s know your business. If you have an ex-wife or whatever, guys, and you're doing better, don't put your stuff on the internet, guys. If you're going on trips, if you're buying new cars, don't put it on the internet, guys, or they will come for that money, man. This broad right here.
You stupid woman.
Let's look at the comments. This guy spends his entire time thinking, thank God that I don't live with her anymore. Someone said Mr. Reynolds must be thanking God that he divorced her. Look at that. Person says the woman talks this way to the judge. Imagine how she talks to her ex. Facts. Person says she's so bitter, she wants everything her own way. So it's not her husband's fault that she picked a bad career. Someone says telling the judge that the court's corrupt. Nice try. Cooked. Someone says she's so bitter she can't even do simple math. All right, you guys, this is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good one.